question I was asked is, what can you do to avoid ghosting? Now, I love this question because it's looking at what you can do rather than blaming anyone else. And I'm going to answer based on a survey I did as a dating relationship coach on the biggest reasons people ghost. And from that data, there are some things you can do to prevent ghosting. Now, the biggest reason people told me they ghosted was because the conversations were boring, they were bland, they seemed to fizzle out. Maybe the person only responded with a few word answers, or they weren't very responsive at all. Now, no one likes a boring conversation. And if you imagine that when you're talking to someone on a dating app, it should be like a face-to-face conversation, only you're typing it instead of talking it. And people tend to forget that, right? If you're talking to someone in person and they were boring, you probably would walk away and not continue to talk to them either. So you want to lose the interview style questions. You want to lose the how's your day type questions because they tend to fizzle out and don't go anywhere. And same if someone's asking you some questions, stop responding with one or two word answers because that kind of kills the conversation. Now, you don't want a pen pal on a dating app. You want to move so you can meet safely in real life. So having a fun conversation is the best way to do that and prevent ghosting. Now, the second reason people were likely to ghost is they simply didn't know what to say when they weren't interested. So it was easier for them to ghost. So, I recommend having something standard. You say, look, I'm just not feeling that we, have the same values. I wish you luck is really easy, or I don't feel like we have the level of chemistry, or it's not what I'm looking for. Quite easy answers to come up with, and it saves the other person wondering. Third reason people ghosted is the other person got abusive or rude or inappropriate or creepy. Now, no one wants those type of conversations with someone they don't know. It doesn't feel very good to be on the other end of. Now, if you wouldn't say something face to face to someone, don't say it on a dating app, because it's not going to work. Now, the next reason that people ghosted was because they might have gone on a date with someone who didn't look anything like their profile. So the pictures didn't look like them, the description that they used didn't look like them. Now, people feel lied to and misled when your profile doesn't look like you. And, some of the responses that I got that said, if they could do that, I don't owe them an answer. So there are some really common reasons people ghost you and what you can do to avoid it. Now, on the flip side, I want to say that, I was asked once, do you think ghosting will ever stop? And my answer is no. In the world of tech, where people don't have to see someone face to face, is often an easier option, and people will do what's easier. Now, I want to say for the most part, ghosting is not about you at all. People could be talking to 50 people and they just don't respond to all 50. There are a number of reasons they might have decided they're not ready for a relationship. And again, it often says more about the other person than it does about you. I mean, personally, I recommend always saying something because it just leaves people without the unanswered questions. But the reality is people will ghost. And as much as you can do some things to avoid it, it still may happen and it doesn't say anything about you. Anyway, thanks for listening.